Hi everyone, and welcome back to Jackson Talks. So, if you're watching this video, chances are you've experienced pain, whether it's a nagging backache, the occasional headache, or if you're unfortunate enough to suffer with a chronic pain condition. So, when pain hits, chances are for most of us, we reach straight for a painkiller. And don't get me wrong, there's a time and place for painkillers. But the problem is with all medication, there come side effects. But what if we could take a more active role in managing our pain? And we could do it without medication. Now, as somebody who lives with pain pretty much every day, I've picked up a few hints and tips over the time, and I've managed to stay off painkillers as often as I can. So today, we're going to explore two really powerful, non-pharmaceutical methods of managing pain. Now, will this work every time? No, but if it reduces the amount of time you have to reach for medication, then that's all to the good. So what are they? It's two techniques, and it's basically down to distraction and relaxation. So let's actually talk about what pain is and what's going on when we experience pain. So pain is not just a physical sensation. It's a complex experience that involves both your bodies and your brain. It's your body's way of passing a message through your nervous system to say, something's not right, boss. Something's not correct. Our muscles tense up, the heart rate increases, your blood pressure is going to go up, and your patience with being able to deal with people, again, goes down to zero. And it becomes a vicious cycle, especially if you're in pain on a regular basis. However, the more we focus on the pain, the more we feel the pain. It's very similar to when you're cold. The more you focus on being cold, the more you'll feel the cold. So this is where distraction and relaxation comes in. They're two sides of the same coin. And it allows us to interrupt the cycle and give your brain a break. Distraction, the mind shift. So let's start with distraction. So the goal here isn't to pretend that pain doesn't exist, but it's to consciously shift your attention away from thinking about the pain itself. So think of your brain's processing power like a computer. And when the pain hits, there's a massive amount of power and attention that's given towards that pain and dealing with the signals that it's given to you and all the impacts it has. So distraction is like opening up a new set of software and then focusing on and actually engaging that program to take over the attention of the computer. And by doing that, you break the signal of where you're thinking about the pain, thus increasing the feeling of the pain. Distraction techniques. So, how do we do this? Let's break down some practical techniques that you can try. First off, engage in your senses. Now this one is one of the easiest ones to start off with. It's what you can see, what you can feel, what you can touch, what you can taste. So let's start off with visuals. So if you start to feel pain, sometimes you can distract yourself by putting on a fast-paced movie, a bit of an action thing. You could engage yourself by doing a puzzle or playing a game. You can scroll through some social media bits and pieces, anything to visually stimulate the brain in a different way and distract it from the pain you're feeling. Another idea, sound. So listen to a podcast that makes you laugh. Yeah, listen to a YouTube channel like Jackson Talks. Put some music on, some upbeat music, something that's going to give you your mood a bit of a change. Or get lost in an audiobook. And then lastly, on the engaging the senses, touch. So squeeze balls, stress balls can help sometimes. Touching your pet animal, stroking your pet animal, or even taking just a warm bath or a warm shower. Having that sensation of touch on the body, again, can distract the brain from thinking about the pain. Engaging the mind. So the other trick is to do something that requires a bit of mental effort. So think doing puzzles and games. If you're into crosswords, do a crossword, or maybe a Sudoku puzzle, or even video games. Some video games that are quite sort of taxing and needs a bit of focus. By focusing on that and engaging the mind, it takes your mind away from the pain and what you're actually feeling. Try learning a new skill, like learn a new language. Watch a tutorial on how to draw the perfect horse, or learn a musical instrument. Obviously, depending on where your pain is, depends on what you're physically able to do. Engage in your body, gently. Now, this isn't about pushing through the pain. This is not about push through that pain barrier, boy. Get on with it, boy. No, we're not talking about that. This is about finding a gentle, mindful approach to movement that can help you take the mind away from what it's feeling. So, gentle stretching or walking. Now, this is about focusing on the movement itself rather than on pain. The sensation of your muscles stretching, the joints moving, the feet on the ground, focus on that rather than on the area that's hurting. And sometimes the stretching can help stretch out if you have a bad back, for example. Sometimes stretching is the perfect thing to do because it helps ease them muscles out that are in spasm. Try crafting or cooking. Again, repetitive things that you don't really have to think about the movements. Yeah, so if you're into knitting or painting or chopping vegetables or doing something that is just repetitive in nature, that you don't have to think about too much, but your mind is on the pattern, it's on the recipe, it's on doing something else other than the discomfort that you're feeling in the moment. So the key is to find something that truly absorbs your attention. It's not about what you should do, but what you want to do. That's you're going to enjoy doing. It's going to take the mind away from the discomfort you're feeling. And it is a really good system to use because I use it all the time. I'm frequently found after a busy day when I'm getting tired and my joints are starting to hurt from the condition that I have, I'll disappear into a podcast where I've got a number of long form podcasts I listen to. I've got another few sort of game streams that I watch. And again, it's about disconnecting the brain from what it's feeling and focusing on something else. The importance of relaxation. Now, let's move to the other side of the coin. Relaxation. While distraction shifts your focus, relaxation directly addresses the physical tension and the stress that pain creates. When you relax, you're sending signals to your nervous system that everything is safe, everything is calm, and everything is okay. So I'm going to guide you through a couple of simple relaxation techniques that you can do right now. First, let's try some diaphragmatic breathing, also known as belly breathing. This is a foundational technique for relaxation. So get yourself into a comfortable position, either sitting up or lying down. You place one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly, just below your rib cage. Now, take a deep, slow breath in through your nose. It's important to do this through your nose because if you've not seen it before, watch the previous video where I'm talking about nose breathing and the health benefits and how it helps calm the system down by itself. So, take a big, deep breath in through your nose to a count of 4. Fill your lungs up as far as you can, but focus on the hand on your belly rising and not the hand on your chest rising. You want to be belly breathing. Now hold that breath and then slowly exhale. You can either exhale through your mouth or, if you've practiced a little bit, exhale through your nose for a count of 6. Now feel your belly flatten and your hand fall back down to where it was at the starting point. Now let's do that one more time. Breathe in through your nose. Hold the breath and then exhale slowly for a count of 6. And doing this simple act activates the body's vagus nerve system, which tells the body to calm down. It takes you out of the fight and flight mode. And if you're in pain, chances are your body is in that stressed mode. Next, let's try a shortened version of progressive muscle relaxation. Now this involves tensing and then releasing different muscle groups. And after you practice this a little bit, you can sort of tense up different muscle groups around the body. And it's a really good way of just calming the body down, relaxing it, and also can help you get to sleep at times if you really master this technique. So, once again, let's get into a comfortable position. We're going to start with our hands, and you're going to clench your fists tight. Really feel the tension in your hands. Feel it in your hands and in your forearms, and hold for 5 seconds. So, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, slowly release. Let it go completely. And you can feel the contrast between the tension and the release. You can feel like a wave of calm come across. Now, move up to your shoulders. You shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. Tense them, hold them for 5 seconds. And then release. And as you fall down, you can feel yourself relaxing. Now you can do this with your whole body, with different muscle groups. And it will help you just switch the system off, where you're going from tension to relaxation. So the synergy of both techniques. So when you have both these techniques and you've practiced them a few times and you start using them at the same time, think of it like this. Distraction is in the moment strategy. When you get a sudden spike of pain, that's when you want to use distraction. That's when you want to take your mind somewhere else, focus onto another item. By shifting the focus, it can disconnect it in the moment. The relaxation, on the other hand, should be your long game. It's something that you should practice on a regular basis, even when you're not in pain, especially when you're not in pain, because then you get a chance to perfect it when you're not feeling too uncomfortable. And by practicing the relaxation techniques every day, you're training your nervous system to expect this feeling. Now, I use a similar process when I try to get to sleep, and I trained myself by breathing the right way, that it enables me to fall asleep quicker. This works in the same way. It's about habit. Your body likes habits. It likes routine. So then when pain does arise, you've already got the programming in place, and it's a little bit easier just to start doing these techniques just to distract and relax away from the pain. And it makes these techniques way more effective. So to get started, how about I lay down a bit of a challenge for you? What I would like you to do is pick one distraction technique and pick one relaxation technique. Now, it doesn't matter which of them it is. With a distraction technique, it could be a book, it could be a podcast, it could be a video game, it could be going for a walk, it could be doing yoga, it could be taking your pet for a walk. Pick a distraction technique. Now, especially if you suffer with pain on a regular basis, find that distraction technique and use it. Pick a relaxation technique, whether it's the breathing or the muscle relaxation. Either or, doesn't matter. Pick one, practice it. But here's the hook. Leave me some comments. Let me know how you found it. Let me know if you're struggling with it. And maybe I can pass on some advice from my own experience of when I've been dealing with pain and what I've found works and what doesn't. What I found is difficult or not. Now, this is not about replacing medical advice. This is not about replacing your prescribed treatments that you might have. It's about giving you a few more tools in which you can then combat pain and deal with your pain. And potentially deal with it without having to reach for medication. Because I said, all medication, even the ones that are perceived to be safe, have side effects. So just think of it this way. Living with pain can be overwhelming at times. And I know there's been moments in my life where I've felt overwhelmed by pain. and I've got family members that are also suffering with pain on a regular basis, if not a daily basis, that they themselves at times get overwhelmed by it. It's isolating, but you're not powerless. By learning how to manage your pain in a different way, in a more positive way, having some control over it yourself can change your relationship with the pain. Don't give up to the pain. You control your life. The pain doesn't control your life. So you've got the ability to make choices. So I hope these techniques will offer you a sense of relief and give you some agency over your pain and a little bit of control. And like I said, let me know in the comments below how you've got on with it. If you already practice these techniques, encourage people that you know that may be going through similar circumstances. But in particular, if you found this video helpful at all, then please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Share it around with family members, friends that you might know that suffer a bit. And hit the bell. Select all notifications, so that way then you're not going to miss on any of my future videos on health, wellness and well-being. And again, as I said, I would love to hear in the comments below about which distraction technique worked, which relaxation technique works. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.